Hey guys, and welcome to Best Practice Live Friday. We're just going to go through some of the comments from our channel this week. Actually, we'll go back a couple of weeks because we haven't covered all of those questions. So we're going to go through, if you made a comment on our channel or you've asked the question, we might have typed a quick text response, like I might have jumped in and helped you there. But what I'm going to do is, Jack's given me the luxury of having a screen here beside me. I'm going to just go through your questions and answer them. So shout outs to people. YouTube gives us this cool facility where I can go through, scroll through and look at the comments. So that you guys will post a comment under the video in the description, and we can go and answer that stuff. So thanks very much for subscribing. Thanks very much for watching. I guess what I'd like to start with today is just remind everybody why we exist. Best Practice is a great organisation, and why we exist is, and what we're really passionate about, is helping organisations to improve and be growth focused, to improve profitability, to improve safety, to improve quality, customer satisfaction, environmental sustainability. So you see through the videos in our channel, the threads are around, things like the international standards for ISO, quality management, safety management, environmental management. That's one of the fun ways that we try and structure how you can improve an organisation. So those international standards are fantastic. We like working with them. It's not everything that we do. We've got a great coaching team here at Best Practice that are educators and coaches, and that's called Next Practice. If you don't know anything about Next Practice, download our magazine from our training academy. Jump in to Best Practice. What is it? bestpracticeeducation.com. Is that right? bestpracticeeducation.com. Jack's going to just quickly take us there while we're sharing the screen, so we'll just jump on. So in that online training academy, so that's a lot of what we do here. Is we have our online courses. There's our site, so that's our you can see the courses there, so you can click those buttons and buy those courses, and they can help you through the ISO standards. They can help you. We've got webinars, we've got checklists you can download. So there's free checklists to download. There are essentials courses, like the essential learning of part of the ISO standards. So that's some of the stuff. I'm producing lots more training courses. We've got this great studio here. That's what we use it for. But today's a live to answer your question. So if you haven't checked out the Training Academy, please go and check it out. There's a ton of great courses. So if you want some one-on-one time with me, and all of my knowledge and all of my value from everything that I've done, that's there. The cool thing about the courses, I guess why we're a little bit unique, is I run this business. And my question to you is, imagine a world where all of the top tips and tricks that are all great about all of the companies out there have been brought into one place. That's the cool thing about Best Practice, is I'm out there with all of my team. There's 30 of us here running around doing our assessments and looking at organizations, and we pick up all the good things that people are doing and we see the mistakes. And this business is so successful and it's growing so quickly because we basically go, oh, that's a good idea, well, let's do that. And we're not ripping people off, but we do talk about the analogy that great artists, good artists copy, great artists steal. And there's a cool book. So I've got a book review coming out next week on artists steal. So once I've got that book, I've ordered it on eBay. It's coming in, so we'll go find that and check it out. Actually, can you do a quick Google search, book Artists Steal? Artists Steal book. There it is, Steal Like an Artist. So there it is there, so Steal Like an Artist. So I just ordered that on eBay this week, and I'm going to read that. As soon as it turns up at my house, I'll read that. And we'll do a book review on that for you. So it's a really good analogy around innovation and improvement in any part of your business. So if you want to know what I'm up to, that's what I'm going to be spending some time. As soon as the book turns up, I'll be straight into it. And the other book, just quickly, Jack, we'll do a couple of quick book reviews that I started reading this morning, is How to Speak to Your Kids So They'll Listen. I think that's the title. Your Kids So They Listen. That's a book. There it is. How to Talk So Kids Will Listen, and Listen So Kids Will Talk. In fact, the yellow one is the one I've got. Go one more across. That one. That's what I started reading this morning. And I tried it on my son, and it worked. So I just quickly went in, I sped read a couple of chapters, I walked out into the living room, I dragged his attention away from the iPad because he was having a bit of iPad time before he went to school, and then and we went with that. So I'm going to finish that book this weekend, and then I'm going to get on to Steal Like an Artist. So I try to get through about a book a week. Good example. So they're my two books. They're my two book recommendations. That's what I'm reading right now. I'll do a video for you on the YouTube channel next week. I've got more time. I've been really busy the last 2 weeks. We've had a few people leave the business, staff turnover. We've got a lot of growth happening, and the business is sort of growing, and roles become more specialised, less general, more specialised. So we've got a couple of people that have left, moved on to different parts of their career, a couple of new people starting, and I've been flat chat with that. Okay, let's have a look at these comments. Thanks, Jack. And we'll a couple of people, just want to give a quick shout out to Herbert. Thanks for your messages on the Facebook page. This is just the background. We get all of with our Facebook page. If you want to message us through our Facebook page, I get a notification on my phone. So I'll quite often look at those just before I go to bed at night. But the marketing team are here looking at them all day, every day. So sometimes you'll get a response from me, lucky you, and sometimes you'll get a response from the other guys in the marketing team. Rebecca's out there now, and she's able to answer your question. So Herbert, I hope that helped with your warehouse question. It was just about what clauses to audit in a warehouse. And what I was saying to Herbert, he asked me when I'm in a warehouse, what clauses of the standard should I look at? I would prefer that you went into the warehouse and followed a process. So if an order is coming from your ordering system into the warehouse ready to be picked and packed and dispatched, then you want to follow that through, and you want to see how you ensure that you pick the right thing for the customer at the right time, that the shelf life for the products is right. Or you want to follow a product through the warehouse. How does a product get identified to be ordered to be put in the warehouse, managed through its life cycle in the warehouse, and then dispatched to the customer or to the other part of the business, and it's got to be protected, looked after, preserved, all those sorts of things. So you could process, if you can think about what's the process, what stage of the process am I at, don't worry too much about the clauses of the standard. I want you to be looking for opportunities for improvement. I want you to be looking for opportunities to be more efficient, and stepping back and asking questions and saying, is this the world-class way to do this? One of my techniques, one of my tools is to stand there and say, what's the 5-star version of this? I do it with Jack all the time. I just did it with our finance manager. We're looking at our profit and loss here in the business. I said, what's the 5-star version of this? What's the 5-star version of a month in our sales team? 5-star version in our marketing team? What's that stuff? So that's just prompted Jack to pick up another camera and get some content for our vlog. So that's the 5-star version, is content on content. That's just us. So when you're in your business and you're looking, just use that as a filter. What's the 5-star version? If we were you might be a warehouse, you might be manufacturing, construction site, service business, but just think about, if we were a 5-star hotel, how would we present this, approach this, manage this? And for those of you that worked in 5-star hotels, the back office can be really messy and untidy, but how we present ourselves is really important. Our uniform, ourselves as an individual, the 5-star version of ourselves, and then the 5-star version of the organization, and how you organize yourselves and how you work and communicate, and so that everybody has an amazing experience. The ultimate objective of 5-star is to have that amazing experience. So focus less on the clauses of the standard and more on that, and then the standard will start to make sense. You'll go back over it and read it and go, oh, okay, well, the standard is giving you some guidance about doing a contract review or checking something. It's like, okay, well, what would the 5-star version of that look like? And it gives you a stretch goal to work for. Okay, sorry, I'm missing the point here. The point of this exercise is to answer questions. James Matthews, thanks for your comment. This video was very helpful and informative. I run an industrial recycling facility of plastics for many companies. We receive, shred and granulate, store and strip material on a constant basis. I think I'm adding too much to my list of things. Okay, look, I agree. You want to keep things really simple. So what James is referring there is, in terms of risks and opportunities, I think that people try to do too much in one step, and what the ultimate intent of something like ISO 9001 is about small cycles of continual improvement. I'm getting the wind up because I've got to go and speak at a conference, so I'll give you 5 more minutes. So what we're looking at is keep things really simple, keep them short, keep them intimate, and keep them regular. So if you're doing a SWOT analysis or a risk identification, just do a brainstorming session, but start a timer and maybe do 20 minutes. And just do 20 minutes with a whiteboard or butcher's paper or a spreadsheet. Identify a whole bunch of things that could go wrong, some good things you could work on, and then leave it and move on and go away and put controls in place and work on that. And then set yourself in a week's time another timer to add to that and revise that and look at that. And so I would prefer that you did, really high quality, small amounts of things instead of trying to do too much and overwhelm yourself. So James, you are right. Don't add too much of your list of things in one go. MLVSLS83 user. I'm a student working on a project assigned by my internship supervisor. Can you please describe how I can apply RBT on determining the way to select new suppliers? RBT is risk-based thinking. Really simple. What could they break? What could they get wrong? What would your supplier, how would they affect you? And a really good thing is to just sit around in the business and just go, okay, what's gone wrong in the past? I worked at this company, the suppliers did this wrong. I worked at this company, suppliers did this wrong. And so it's a really good way to apply risk-based thinking and then just say, so risk is about prioritization. Okay, how did that affect us? Was it just frustrating, or was it something that cost us a lot of money? And so in quality, as much as you want to think about customer satisfaction, you could say, in the past, have any of our suppliers pissed off our customers? And I apologize for the language, but that's how I look at it, right? It's simple. It's just like, did any of your suppliers that you said, hey, you guys can come and get involved with us and we're going to serve this customer, but they fucked you over or they pissed you off? And I apologize for my language, but that's the process, right? If you can ask those questions in the business, because we all do speak like that at the end of the day, quietly in our head, then that's going to give you an indication of risk-based thinking. And you can say, okay, well, what happened? What did it cost? What were the hidden costs of that problem? Did we lose the customer? Were we able to fix it? How did we fix it? How could we prevent that happening again? And you can summarize a lot of this by improving communication, but your question was about risk. How do we apply risk-based thinking to suppliers? Just don't try and build a pre-qualified suppliers database that's got everybody that you've ever used or you might use. Just think about pre-qualifying suppliers when you want to use them. So the decision to use them on a case-by-case, project-by-project, month-by-month basis, and then think about how they could impact your organization, but more importantly, your customer, and then you can prioritize how you apply controls. So don't get overwhelmed. And I've seen people build these big spreadsheets of registers of suppliers, and half of them you never use. So just pick your top 10 that you're going to use next month, focus on them, and work with them to ensure that they deliver good quality services and products to you, and your customers have an amazing experience. And then you can triage. Triage is my word of the week. Let's just triage, and Google triage if you need to, how you can prioritize. Okay, what do we got? I'll do one more and then I better go. What have we got? Happy New Year to you. How do I pronounce that? Is that Rajar? Dear sir, I wish you and your family belated Happy New Year. Thank you very much. They had a good time. Sir, while listening to your audit checklist, I have a small inquiry. Sir, you mentioned auditing and checking a business plan. In business plan, we have to check the business plan is meant for banks. They have to check as an auditor. What do we have to check? Okay, so as a quality assurance auditor, what do you check in the business plan? Objectives and targets. I'm just going to cut straight to it. Objectives and targets, part of the standard. So management objectives and targets in ISO 9001, they get brought from the business plan. A bit of silence there. Oh, pennies dropping for you guys? Yes. Don't go writing management objectives and targets in a quality manual, because I see so many people struggle with objectives and targets. Your management objectives and targets come from the strategy to be the world-class supplier, provider, whatever in the business plan. If your organization doesn't have a business plan, then send a comment or post a comment on our YouTube channel, and we'll send you the link to the business plan that we bank with. It's a free template on the internet. It's the Australian ANZ Bank. In fact, that's the conference I'm going to speak at right now. And they've got a free template. So when the business plan says to write strategic objectives and targets, those are your strategic objective targets as a quality auditor that you're auditing. Now, the second thing is the dashboard of statistics. How do we know if a business plan is successful? A good quality business plan has got numbers and measures and indicators of performance. And as a quality auditor, you want to be going out into the organization and asking the question. So, some of the objectives, some of the things we measure here in the business, how many assessments do we do each week on time? How many assessments are fully complete, like, percent completion? Because you can, it's very easy to do an assessment, a business assessment, a business improvement assessment here at Best Practice and do 80%. And the final 20% is a bit of housekeeping, administration, paperwork. And the guys here are only humans, and sometimes they forget to finish off the job. So we measure percent completion, which means that we can issue an invoice, for example. So have a think about when you're, as a quality auditor or safety or environment, what is the business plan for safety for the business for the year? What's the business plan for your sustainability programs for the year? And if you've got more questions about that, I can help. So just post a comment and I can give you more explanation. Let's quickly do one more. I'm going to stretch it right out. I'm getting looked at through the window, so I need to head. So if you want more, don't forget to go check out those training courses. I'll get Jack to post the link to the training courses and the free downloads in the comments in the description below this video. YouTube will leave the recording of this live stream on our channel, and you can jump into that description and you can get the links that you need. Last one. First of all, great videos in general, very engaging and energetic. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Which certainly helps, and we can be quite bland with a quite bland topic. I know. That's why I try to look attractive, and we do joke about how handsome everybody is here at Best Practice. But that's what we're all about, right? We're trying to have a bit of fun. Yes, it can be a bland topic, but it's really exciting. It is a really exciting topic because it's all about helping organizations to grow and improve and be more profitable and fun and all that sort of stuff. So, no problems. I really enjoy the topic. I'm very passionate about it. You've done a very good job explaining the content and briefly mentioned scope here, but could you provide practical examples of scope statements in reference to clause 4.3? Should it be a simple one-line statement? It can change to the life of the organization. How much detail should it include? Not too much detail. With a scope statement or context, we've got a great video on our YouTube channel about context. We'll post the link. Can you post the link to, don't worry about standard. Can you post the link, Jack, to the context video? It's got 30,000 views, I think. It's one of our most popular videos. There's a really great video that I want you guys to watch about scope and context in describing how to write that up. But think about it like this. What parts of your organization in a quality management system for ISO 9001, what parts of your organization have the most impact on customers? And so just quickly say, customer service, sales, production. Well, that would be, when you're talking about scope, it's the name of your organization, production. And so you're going to focus your management system in that area of the business. So a scope statement can just be literally, it doesn't have to be a sentence that makes sense. It's just giving you a reminder of the parts of the business that the management system applies to. If a customer wants a scoping statement, you just tell the customer, you say, our quality management system applies to our production facility. It's not rocket science, and I apologize for my industry making it overly complicated, but our quality management system applies to production. Our quality management system applies to customer service, or customer service, production, marketing, sales, warehousing in Hong Kong, in the United States, in the United Kingdom, in Iran, in the UAE, whatever your, wherever you can put geography, you can put a geographic location in your scope statement. Our quality management system applies to our production in China. So just really simple, keep it really simple. And so I'll leave you with like sort of one final thing from me. Please watch more of the free videos on the YouTube channel, and while you're watching it, write down this note. What would Kobe do? What would Kobe say? And if you do that, then you can go back and go, oh, well, what would he say? He would say, keep it simple. What's the simple version of this? What's the really simple version of this? And to make things simple, it can sometimes be very hard. But your job, your role is to help make people's life easy. And the harder you make your life and the more effort that you put into what you're doing, then the more amazing outcome you're going to give to people in a simple system that's easy to use. Something that is really quick to produce and really quick to develop will often cause a lot of grief and frustration for other people out in your organization. Okay, I've got to go. Apologize, this has been a really short live stream. We just wanted to make sure we answered a few questions. I will do this again next week, next Friday. We may have to move the time around depending on availability, but I'll jump in here and I'll go through those comments. So if you're watching this and you've watched any of our videos, comment. We'll go, Jack, if you can just show us just give us a quick view of, YouTube gives us a thing called Creator Studio, and in Creator Studio, it gives us a list of all of the comments. So we just go into our community, and then it gives us a community dashboard. So Jack's just going to show you that community. This screen here that we're going through just condenses all of your comments and all of your questions into one inbox for us. So next week, I'm going to go through the inbox. I'm going to pick out the most recent questions and I'm going to answer them for you. So ask your questions, provide your comments. I'll get to them live. I'll respond to them in writing when I get the chance. I'll get to them in writing. And don't forget to keep improving every day. And Jack's going to get me to say something.
ISO 45001.
Okay. ISO 45001, just a quick notification. It's still looking like the 15th of March. I've got a Google screen open on my desk in my office at the moment. I was literally about to go find the information for you to give you an update. Next week on Friday, I'll give you a solid update about ISO 45001 and what's happening in March. And I'll give you some guidance. In the interim, we've got an essentials course. So if you want to know more about ISO 45001, go buy that course. It's not expensive. Go buy the course, work your way through those videos, and when you buy those courses and you comment and you ask questions, you've got unique access to our technical people here who answer the questions and help people through those courses. So that, again, that system gives us a little inbox of all the comments, all the questions, and you get live support. It might take a couple of hours for them to come back to you with an answer to your question, but that's an absolutely fantastic course. So I'll go over ISO 45001 in the next video. I'll take comments and questions from the YouTube community. Thanks very much for everybody. Thank you very much for your support. Go buy lots of courses because that keeps us going here at Best Practice and keeps us motivated. So check them out. And anybody who needs to see this video, please share it with them and let them know that I exist and I'm here to help them make life simple, improve their organization, and keep growing and keep improving every day. Bye for now, guys.